How are you, pieces of me? So this me sense that we all have, right? This sense of self, that all we know, right? Our name. I mean, it's me. I'm Richard. I built a YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. I'm this way. These things I don't like, but these are my buttons. But other than that, right? All this, all these descriptions, all these words, are stories within the brain to make sense of this outside world in order for me to survive. So, along the spiritual journey of the story of the brain that I've been told, right? Because remember, we exist in the story our brains tell us. Along the spiritual journey, it always told me, there's just, you've got to do it. You got to meditate this long in order to get this way. You got to do this and that, and so much pressure. But the more I got this resonance of flowing out of my character of me, right? Separating myself from this character, and it's hard to even explain that, right? Because how can you still live life and not have this sense of me, right? We need this sense of me, but there is something happening within this piece of life here, right? That is able to switch out of the character. For example, normally, if I get bad news, if I lose my job or something, right, this character will get sad, right? And then that's when we start painting the story in our brain. That's when the story kicks in, you're not, it starts wanting to go in the future, and it tells you, you're going to be broke, you're not going to have food to eat, blah, 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 right? So, if I were to get fired, I would still feel sad. I would feel anxiousness. That's what we want to call it. But certain fluctuations would arise within me, right? So what would be happening within me now in this story is I wouldn't be fueling these thoughts so much. And that's what's meant through flowing through life now, flowing through the dream. It's like I'm here, and yes, I still have personality traits of the character, right? I can still joke around, but whenever there's something that appears to happen in my dream, in the dream world, right? What we think is solid, but is just empty space, right? Anyways, this ability to not be so invested in the story of you is so beneficial, right? It's so beneficial. And a lot of people on the spiritual path, it's hard for them to realize that what they're seeking is what they are already, and they are in their own way by thinking they are a person. But it sounds horrible to say that, right? I'm not a person? What do you mean? That sounds psychotic. What do you mean? There's good feelings, there's bad feelings. What are you talking about, you weirdo, right? This is what some people may be projecting. But the great news is, the beautiful news is that it's all source. Everything is source manifesting into the dream world and being whatever it is. So this is source, being what we label a tree. But in essence, it's just energy, unbound, just creating, growing, flowing, Fibonacci sequence, right? You got geometries, mathematics, beautiful perfection. Everything, it's already complete and whole. I am no different from this tree, but once my brain attaches a story, right, it's automatically, it is me and then the tree. So 2 points. So your brain has to be in time, but there is no time. There is no time, okay? So once you feel or resonate with this, then something, I can't explain it, something within something, or who knows, maybe this could all just be stories. I don't know, I just know that this is a liberating feeling when you're able to break away from the me sense, when you're able to recognize that you are just a character. It's a beautiful dream. Okay, I don't want to make this too long. I'm on my lunch break. I just wanted, I don't know, just to, energy just felt like expressing, and I expressed, okay? So, if you got anything out of this, you did. If you didn't, really, there's no point really to anything. And I know that sounds horrible. Like, what? That sounds like nihilism. What are you talking about? There's no point. Well, why don't I just kill my... No. You got to understand. That's love. That's the unconditional love, that there is no meaning. So a lot of times when there's meaning or something, our brain wants to attach all these extra stories, and then we feel this extra contraction within the body, right? And that's why how like cancers start and everything, because we're suppressing certain emotions that we think aren't right. But you're supposed to let it all out. Be your whole self. You're beautiful, complete, perfect, just the way you are. All your quirks, all the things that you think are bad about yourself. It's all perfect. It's all source manifesting as you. Woo! I love you, pieces of me. And when I say I love you, I mean I love you as in I am you. Woo! See y'all later. But there's no time, so... Woo! What a beautiful mystery. What a beautiful paradox.